Okay, is it good now? Is it good now?
Okay, is it good now?
Yep. Okay. My mic was muted for some reason. It was muted. Will this thing just go live? My computer, my Chromebook won't go live. Hold on. And I want to keep it on live just so I can make sure everything's okay, because occasionally when I stream, I glance at it because I just put it to my left. Okay. Now, the reason why this is 12.5 and not part 13 is because this isn't really going to be a lot of, what's the word? Not gameplay, but just not a lot of actual game of the game. This is just more going to be some information. Like, obviously, because of crimes and main missions, I don't get to hear a lot of the J. Jonah Jameson. I don't get to finish all of that. In this one, we're just going to be doing a lot of that. And after this stream, I will probably start the first DLC. Good news, though. I did get Spider-Man 2 because of the sales. But yeah, I also, off-screen, I did all of the crimes to get that last suit needed, all for one. I was going to save that for this stream now. So we are just going to wait for the crime to appear. I also have a full, what's the word, skill bar or whatever, focus bar. So I'm just doing all these tricks so I can keep it for when that a crime appears. Oh, I'm almost out of the zone. I should probably go this way to stay in it.
This is Sable Control.
There it is. The last Sable crime needed to complete it. Then I will have 100%
Report on the
campaign
situation in
completion.
Spanish Harlem. Armored patrol on the move. No sign of priority targeting. Echo Charlie. Got a man down. Control, we're in trouble. Eyes up. Incoming grenade. He's shooting west.
Jump off the wall, please. Thank you. Alright, that is all of them. Time to see what the new suit is, because I don't remember it. Undies? Hold on. What is this? Right, the equalizer build. Yeah, I am not using that. Purely for the fact that I go down in one hit. Oh, it's, didn't this appear, whenever Scorpion hit us with the like, toxic venom or whatever. That's actually kind of funny. That's kind of funny. I mean, I'm not really going to use it, but yeah. Yeah, I have every suit in the game now. I did that last stream. I bought them all. So yeah, we did that. You know, I'm gonna keep the vintage comic book suit. I like it. I don't really know though what his suit power does. Let me see it. Oh, it just knocks him back a bit? Huh. Whatever. Yeah, that is all crimes done. So we're just gonna look at other stuff. Yeah, we already did all of this. I also heard you could change the time of day. I do not remember that being a feature at all in the game. But it said you could only do it at research stations, I believe. So we're gonna try that out right now real quickly, just because why not? To make this a little longer. Oh! That's cool. Sunset. So then I could just... Oh my god, that's so cool. Doesn't really bring any significance in the game. It also is a little disappointing how you can't change it to like rainy. Like this game, playing this game in the rain, it looks really cool. Like at the end of the game, when you're fighting, really just the end of the game in general, it mostly rains. But yeah, that's super cool. I'm gonna put it back to sunset. Sunset looks best in my opinion. Like out of those three options, I like sunset. Okay. So yeah, now we're just gonna look at all the stuff like the J. Jonah Jameson stuff, all the backpack stuff that you get. Yeah, that's super cool. Just gonna look at a bunch of stuff that you wouldn't look in the main game, but just as a why not. Oh wait, oh right, I forgot. Oh yeah, I can buy this stuff now because I was doing all the crime. And then this stuff, I mean, I'll definitely be able to get this stuff in New. Since I already have everything in New Game Plus. I have all my gadgets upgraded. I like some of the... I forgot they have little animations. Or at least some of them, obviously, like Web Shooters and Spider Drone doesn't. Skills, I got all these. Missions, none. Yeah, collections, we'll go back to that. Oh yeah, I forgot about benchmarks. They do absolutely nothing except give you XP. I've always just done these on accident, I never actually do them. Because I honestly forgot they even gave you XP, because they don't give you a lot. Oh yeah, I forgot that this game gives character bios. Lives list, and then DLC. Oh my god, my sister's being a whiny little bitch again. Give me a minute. I'm back. She was whining because the freezer, it has like two parts of it. The top part, whenever she would open it, it kept coming out with the bottom part. You literally just push it back in. It's just, oh my god. The Heist. Info. The City That Never Sleeps, Episode 1. The Heist. When Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat, returns to New York Spider-Man's past makes trouble for Peter Parker's present. Turf Wars. See That Never Sleeps, Episode 2, Turf Wars. As the gang war between Hammerhead and the Maggia heats up, Spider-Man's closest and only police contact, Yuri Watanabe, is drawn into the fray. Silver Lining. Say That Never Sleeps, Episode 3, Silver Lining. Silver Sable returns to take back what's hers in the exciting conclusion to the City That Never Sleeps storyline. I don't remember anything from any of these except, obviously, Black Cat returns. This one is obviously the introduction. Actually, no, I don't remember anything about this because technically he was, Hammerhead was introduced in this one. We were just never shown to him. And then in this one, Silver Sable returns. But I don't remember anything out of these three. I don't remember anything. Yeah, it's like a character bio. So obviously we've got Peter Parker / Spider-Man. Height. It's only 5'10". Whatever. He seems honestly taller than that in game. I don't know why. I think that's probably just because camera perspectives in the game, because it's a 3D game. Wait, he's only 167 pounds. Age 23. Also, I don't want to hear any 6'7" shit in the comments. Place of birth, Forest Hills, New York. Occupation, research assistant. Not anymore. Elias, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Webhead, Webslinger, and Tiger. Oh, I forgot about that. Alright. Bio, just your friendly neighborhood spider, friendly neighborhood, yada, yada, yada. Can you believe it's been 8 years since you were bit by that radioactive spider, Peter? No, Peter, I cannot. Feels like just yesterday I was geeking out in the AV club with Harry, dreaming about college, moving to the city. Back then, my biggest concern was avoiding Flash Thompson at lunch. Now, well, things have gotten a few clicks more complicated. Powers and abilities: can adhere to most surfaces, superhuman strength, can lift up to 10 tons, exceptional agility, web shooters allow rapid travel from point to point, spider senses act as an early warning threat detection, enabling the avoidance of most injuries, really good sense of humor, like really good. I agree. MJ, height 5'8", weight 120 pounds, age 23, place of birth, I'm not going to try and pronounce that, occupation, reporter, lies as MJ. To say it's complicated would be the understatements of my life. My best friend's middle school. We made it almost 2 years on the fight and all fights. Hard to say who broke heart more. Either way, we haven't even spoken in over 6 months. It's a little sad to admit, but I've got a subscription to the Bugle just so I can see her byline in print. Could just read her articles online, but something about seeing them in ink makes them more real. Last week's was 10 surprising ways millennials are changing Manhattan. No, she hates writing that kind of thing. Feels like she's wasting her talents, but she's growing a following. People love her voice. She's gonna be named someday. I know it. Alright. Wilson Fisk. Willie. Height 6'7". Weight 450 pounds. He's 48. Place of birth unknown. Occupation CEO, Fisk Industries, criminal mastermind. Elias is kingpin of crime. Kingpin, what else can I say? He's my biggest nemesis by pure volume and every other available metric. I mean, yeah, technically at the time, we'd say at that time, like beginning of the game, he could be known as your biggest nemesis because everyone else was kind of in Rikers. I was 15 when I first took down one of his enforcers. Guy was in jail for all of 2 hours, but Fisk has had it in for police, judges, the city council, you name it, and he's got leverage. If I can put him away once and for all, the city might be safe enough that I could finally focus on the rest of my life. Powers and abilities are incredibly strong and resilient. His agility and dexterity have been honed from years of training, and his mental fortitude is nearly unmatched. A formidable strategist, he always has a plan, and those who underestimate him do so at their own peril. Yuri, height 5'9", weight 135 pounds, age 38. Astoria, New York. Occupation captain, New York Police. Eliza's best bud. Bio, my best and let's face it, only friend on the police force. Sure, she's sarcastic and cranky and sometimes wants to kill me, but it comes. Fun fact, in her second year on the force, Yuri was sent in to negotiate a hostage situation in Hell's Kitchen. After 3 hours of talking, she ended it by body slamming the suspect, knocking him out. When asked why she broke protocol, she said he annoyed me. Powers and abilities, while skilled at both hand-to-hand combat and down dirty police work, she has lately transitioned into a managerial role. A large swath of the police force took her for guidance, cool under pressure, and oh my fucking god, I can't speak. Focused, little shakes for confidence. Otto Octavius, height 5'9", weight 245 pounds, age 63, place of birth. Again, I'm not trying to pronounce that. Occupation scientist, Elias Doc. Otto's been my childhood idol since I was 6 years old. Other kids would talk about Captain America or Iron Man, but I dreamed of growing up to be just like Otto Octavius. Wait a second, now that I think about it, where was the Avengers while the whole Devil's Breath, Sinister Six, yada yada shit was going on? I completely forgot. Yeah, Avengers Tower, like Doctor Strange's Sanctum, I don't remember the actual name, and all of that is there. Where were they? Where were they? We kind of needed them. We didn't need them, obviously, but we could have used them. That would have been nice. Aunt May was the one who called and got me the summer internship. With him, he didn't even have an internship program. He just hired me based on May's word. 2 years later, I'm working for him full-time, and we're on the brink of something that's going to change the world. I just wish 6-year-old me could see me now. Powers and abilities, genius level intellect, able to think around even the most complex problems to devise elegant, effective solutions. Aunt May. Height 5'5", weight 110 pounds, age 66, place of birth Brooklyn, New York. Occupation operations manager, Feast. Elias' Aunt May. If I could pick one person in the world I want to emulate, it would be Aunt May. She's the strongest and most selfless person I know. I just wish she'd think of herself a little now and then. May started volunteering at Feast shortly after Uncle Ben's death as a way to find some light in the darkness. She said it was temporary, but we all knew this was more than a part-time gig for her. Flash forward a few years, and now she partially runs the place. Everything she touches is better because of her. Powers and abilities, a generous spirit that inspires everyone around her. Martin Lee. Height 5'11", weight 108 pounds, age 40, place of birth Dali, China. Occupation CEO, Feast. Elias' Aunt May's boss. Martin Lee is the new definition of American success success story. Why was I saying history? After being orphaned at only 7 years old, he grew up in foster care in Manhattan. Then at the age of 18, he went to China and made a fortune in the shipping industry. When he came back to New York 9 years later, he was already a billionaire, but rather than living off his fortune, he set up charities across the city. He's now dedicating his life to making sure that nobody in the city is forgotten or abandoned. It's no wonder Aunt May wanted to work for him. Powers and abilities: inspiring philanthropic leadership. We also know of a few other powers and abilities that I guess Peter forgot to put in here. Norman Osborn, height 5'11", weight 185 pounds, age 58, place of birth Hartford, Connecticut, occupation Mayor of New York, CEO Oscorp, alias Mr. Mayor. Norman Osborn, my best friend's dad, the founder of the world's biggest tech company, and now the mayor of New York. It's hard not to admire the guy, or would be hard if he wasn't arrogant, condescending, and generally dishonest. Still, I can't bring myself to ever hate Harry's dad. Nobody who raised Harry could ever be all bad. Powers and abilities: vast wealth and unmatched political gamesmanship. Herman Schultz. Oh my fucking god, I can't speak. Shocker. Height 5'9", weight 175 pounds, age 42, place of birth New York City, New York. Occupation professional thief, alias N/A. Trying to remember what N/A means. It's at the top of my head, but I can't remember. Whatever. Herman Schultz. Oh my. Is that how you pronounce it? I can't fucking speak. AKA Shocker was one of my first super adversaries. Also the cause of my first celebratory headline story in the Daily Bugle. I was used to guys with guns or knives or even water balloons filled with hot sauce. Shocker could actually hold his own. If I had known ahead of time, I probably could have found a less destructive way to take him down, but nobody got hurt. And they were planning on remodeling the Flatiron building anyway. Ever since I've been more careful to back off. If I thought fighting would put civilians at risk, I can always catch them later when I've got the upper hand. Powers and abilities: gifted autodidacts. I can't, oh my fucking god. Uses vibro-shock units of his own design to create high-pressure air blasts. Jefferson Davis. Height 5'10", weight 145 pounds, age 44, place of birth New York City, New York, occupation police officer, alias Officer Davis, Jeff. Strange to work with a police officer and to have him treat me like an equal, not a nuisance to be brushed away. Officer Davis is the sort of man I hope I would have become if I hadn't gotten my powers. Honest, dedicated, moral, his family's lucky to have him. Skilled fighter with extensive firearm training, veteran of the police force, his knowledge of organized crime, Wilson Fisk in particular, is extensive. Miles Morales. Height 5'8", weight 130 pounds, age 15, place of birth Brooklyn, New York, occupation student, alive. Events in my head. If I had just reacted a second earlier, if there was some clue I missed at the construction site, if Jeff would still be alive and Miles would still have a father. I owe it to Jeff to find some way to help Miles. I don't know how to do it yet, but I have to honor his father's memory. An intuitive grasp of science and technology. Rio Morales. Height 5'7", weight 120 pounds, age 41, place of birth New York City, New York, occupation teacher, alias N/A. Rio was so polite to me at the funeral. She's the one hurting, and still she takes the time and tries to make me feel better. She deserves to be angry at me. I should have saved her husband, and I failed. It'd be so much easier if she knew the truth and hated me for it. Powers and abilities: a love of science that she's passed on to her son. Silver Sableonova, Silver Sable. I definitely said the last name wrong. Height 5'5", weight 125 pounds, age 36, place of birth, Symkaria, occupation, CEO, Saber International, Alliances, and Sachet. Silver Sable is not what pops into your head when you think of a princess, but that's what she is. Her father, Ernst, is king of the Eastern European nation of Symkaria. They're hardly your typical pampered royal family, though Silver's grandfather fought the Nazi occupation personally, leading a resistance that was never defeated. After the war, the country's primary resource was trained, hardened soldiers, so he founded Sable International, a paramilitary force available to the highest bidder. Silver's brought them into the 21st century in both tech and tactics. Nowadays, Sable International's agents come from all over the world, but Silver Sable is their unquestioned leader and finest soldier. Trained from early childhood by the greatest warriors in the world, she just might be the best pure fighter I've ever seen. I can understand why Mayor Osborne hired Sable Security to fortify a police department left short-handed by the arrest of all the cops on Wilson Fisk's payroll, but the police are there to protect and serve the public. Sable Security is there to serve Osborne, and from what I've seen of Silver, she's not the one to exercise restraint. This is Manhattan, not a war zone. I don't think she's a bad person, just hardened by life and her job. But even though I'm not crazy about her methods, I can't deny she's put her life on the line to take down some really bad guys since she's been here. As long as she's running Sable Security, we should be okay, I hope. Powers and abilities: extraordinary hand-to-hand combatant and martial artist, expert marksman, accomplished gymnast, fluent in multiple languages. Lonnie Lincoln, Tombstone, height 6'7", weight 385 pounds, age 39, place of birth Harlem, New York, occupation free agent, aliases the Pale One. Oh man, Tombstone. This freaking guy. I fought a lot of guys in my day. Guys with mechanized war rigs, guys with semi-mystical reality-bending powers, guys with goofy names and goofier costumes. Lots of crazy guys. I've never fought a guy like Lonnie Lincoln, aka Tombstone. Most bad guys, you beat them, throw them in the rafts. They get pissed. Talk about how they're going to take you down next time. Talk about how they're going to rip you limb from limb. Lonnie, man, all he does is smile. Every loss is just another great challenge on the horizon, he once told me. Right after I handed him over to the police, there's nothing Lonnie loves more than the promise of a great fight. And when the guy doing the fighting is built like a brick house with impermeable skin and razor-sharp teeth, well, let's just say I wish that he'd discover the joy of painting or something. There's only so many great challenges a spider can take. Powers and abilities: superhuman strength and enhanced durability. Skin is nearly impenetrable, skilled at hand-to-hand combat, and proficient with firearms. Decent cook. Dr. Morgan Michaels. Height 5'10", weight 170 pounds, age 52, place of birth NOLA, Iowa. Occupation GR27, project lead Oscorp. Aliases Anzac. Dr. Morgan Michaels, PhD, no less, is Oscorp's top researcher for GR27, their CRISPR-based genome therapy. Oh my god. And I have to say, for a guy heading such an important project, he's kind of a nobody. I mean, I'm a science nerd, and I've never heard of him. And a search of academic databases only turns up a couple of minor mentions. I think I saw a reference in one of his emails to him being Greek. Maybe Michaels is an Americanized name, and he's been published as... I'm not trying to pronounce that, or something. Not that it matters. From what I've seen of his work, he's brilliant. Michaels is specialized in hereditary genetic diseases, finding cures for the incurable. I wish I had more confidence that his discoveries would be the gift to society they should be. But Oscorp traditionally focuses on military contracts. They always seem to find a way to turn plowshares into swords. It's a little weird they're pursuing this line of research at all, but Norman really seems committed to it. So does Michaels. Personally invested even more so than most scientists are with their work. Wonder if it is personal for Michaels in his photos. He doesn't look well. Thin, pale, dark circles under his eyes. Could he have a genetic condition of his own? Okay, I'm getting overly fanciful here. He probably just never sleeps. I know from experience what that's like. Powers and abilities, gifted biochemist. No one understands Devil's Breath better than him. Mac Gargan, Scorpion. Height 6'3", weight 220 pounds. Age 35, place of birth Yonkers, New York. Occupation gun for hire, Elias and Sachet. Matt Gargan used to be a run-of-the-mill street criminal, and not an especially good one. That was before he signed up for an untested procedure to fuse a human body with a mechanized combat suit. The process made Gargan stronger and faster than naturally possible, but also jacked up his rage and aggression. A bit after what happened, the researchers regretted adding a weaponized tail to the suit on top of it all. It's not like Mac just wags it when he's happy to see you. It took me a while to develop weapons strong enough to hold him down for even a few seconds. Encounters with Scorpion have left me with more than a few scrapes and bruises, among much more serious injuries. Don't even want to think about how many more love taps I'll have to endure to get him back behind. Are we sure that's a power or an ability? Enhanced strength, speed, endurance, and agility. Suit claws allow him to scale any surface. While tail can be used as a blunt weapon, his stinger contains a lethal and painful toxin that can be ejected or hurled as a projectile. I'm not trying to pronounce that. Rhino. Height 7'5", weight 710 pounds. Age 41, place of birth, I'm not trying to pronounce that, Russia. Occupation, ex-mob enforcer, Elias Santa Claus. Why? Peter, hold on, I think the real question, why'd you name him Santa Claus? Don't call him Rhino unless you're prepared to have your bones crushed. It clearly loves the power his experimental combat suit gives him, but it hates the way it makes him an easy target for ridicule. Talk about a trigger warning. Would be hard enough to fight without his suit, but with it. He's like some unholy combination of a tank, a battering ram, and 18 gallons of Russian vodka. Even with my accelerated healing, it took me a couple weeks to recover. First time I brought him down, and that was after he demolished 6 city blocks. I'm not looking forward to the rematch. Superhuman strength and nearly impervious to harm thanks to his mech suit. Resistant to extreme temperatures, shock, and explosives. Damage resistant to most acid solutions. Max Dillon, Electro, height 5'11", weight 165 pounds, age 39, place of birth Endicott, New York, occupation professional criminal, Elias Sparky. The villain I've ever fought, Max Dillon, might be the one that worries me the most. The story goes that he gained the ability to control electricity after a freak accident transformed him into a human lightning rod. As Electro, Dillon can shoot high voltage bolted and he comes pretty close to zapping me into a Spidey shish kebab on more than one occasion. I got lucky. The first time we fought, he would have killed me if he didn't burn himself out with his own electrical current. He was still getting used to controlling his powers then. If he ever taps their true potential, I'm not sure even the Avengers could stop him. Powers and abilities, yet you guys, I mean, you can already kind of guess by his name. Adrian Toomes, Vulture. Height 5'11", weight 175, age 76, place of birth Staten Island, New York City. Occupation former electronics engineer, license N/A. When I first heard that an old guy was dressing up in a bird costume and calling himself the Vulture, I had a hard time taking him seriously. But I learned pretty quickly that Adrian Toombs is no ordinary geriatric. He engineered his flight suit himself and gave me a first-hand lesson that spiders don't do well at altitude. It took me years of failed attempts before I finally took him down, and I'm dreading having to do it over again. The sharp wings on his suit are deadly in a fight. They also allow Vulture to make a quick getaway, and I can only swing so fast. Sometimes I wish I was bitten by a radioactive wasp, but I guess that moniker's already taken. Wait, but I guess that moniker's already... Are they talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp? I'm guessing that's a reference. I don't know. I also don't really know what moniker means. I'm just dumbass. Yeah, you guys can read the powers and abilities. Mr. Negative. Height 5'11", weight 180 pounds, 40, place of birth Dali, China, occupation terrorist, aliasis Martin Lee. Martin Lee has an alter ego. Jonah's been calling him Mr. Negative on his show. Jonah always did have an ear for branding. Mr. Negative is like the inverse of Martin Lee, but with some kind of crazy energy powers. I'd love to know how the energy works, but I'm not ready to die to find out. Real question is, what's happening to Martin Lee? Did he plan the whole attack on City Hall, or is Mr. Negative some kind of weird alternate personality? What's driving his rage? Powers and abilities can generate and control a highly destructive negative energy, able to corrupt people, effectively mind controlling them with just a touch. Increased strength and speed, able to gift small portions of his power to his followers. We got two more. Dr. Octopus. Height 5'9", weights 245 pounds, age 63, place of birth, I'm not trying to pronounce that. New York, occupation, criminal masterminds, Doc Ock, Otto Octavius. Dr. Octavius and I were supposed to change the world. Now the media is calling him Dr. Octopus, and I'm wondering if the city's going to survive his rampage. I tried to warn Doc of the risk the neural interface posed to his brain, but never in a million years did I imagine he'd turn into a revenge-obsessed monster. The Otto Octavius I know would never hurt people. He dedicated his life to helping them. I know he's still in there, somewhere. I'm gonna do everything I can to save him. Powers and abilities, yeah. Taskmaster. Height 6'2", weight 220 pounds, age unknown, place of birth unknown. Occupation overzealous spider fan, aliasis that mysterious guy. There's mysterious and then there's mysterious. Taskmaster arrived out of nowhere with only one objective: study me. He set up challenges that I hate for me throughout the city, trying to learn how I operate and replicate my powers. Wish I could just ignore him, but he's placing New Yorkers at risk. Is he angling towards some grander scheme, or is he just amusing himself? Whatever. His end goal, I need to keep tabs on his death-masked Joker. He's studying me. Two can play that game. Powers and incredible... I'm not trying to pronounce that. It's just the M and the N right next to each other. Talents able to mimic the moves and powers of most enemies, seemingly very well funded. So yeah, that's everyone. So then collections. All the resources. Yeah, there's research tokens, landmarks, base, crime, challenge, and backpack tokens. Let's look at some of the newspapers we've collected. How many have I collected? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20. Oh, wait, it's 25 of 25. I thought Isn't there? I don't even remember how much there is total. Kingpin down. Yeah. Feast wins. Surveillance towers. End of Fisk. Art Attack. Big Shock. High Rise Horror. The Cavalry. Cowards. Chance of Crane. 100% chance of Crane. Gang War. What Campaign? Crisis on Campus. Tombstone Buried. Security versus Freedom. Urban Warfare. Train Terror on the Tracks. Quarantine. New Villain. Who is the octopus? Threat or Menace. Yep. Big Game Hunt. High Voltage. Prison Escape. Sinister Six. And Cured. Let's do backpacks next. There's 55 of these things, and we're going to listen to all of them.
A menu from my first real date with MJ. Wish I could have afforded someplace fancier. But she didn't seem to mind.
What kind of shit is on there? Hospital
My
bill.
injured shoulder eventually healed. The bill took a lot longer to pay.
Nightclub VIP
Harry's
card.
VIP card for the nightclub. Harry always tried to include me.
Thank you, John.
All I did was save this kid's balloon from floating away, and he made me this. It's the little things that make it all worth it.
Plushie.
Spider plushie! Oh, a toy designer made this prototype to get me to license my likeness. Too bad there's no way to get paid without revealing my identity.
Just get paid in cash. Failed prototype.
Tried mixing up a prototype web fluid at Oscorp while Harry had his internship there. Didn't work. That place has always been bad luck for me.
Can someone tell me if anything actually happens if you scan the QR code? I'm not gonna try it, but like, if anyone like tries it or has tried it, comment down below. Does this actually do anything? Classic web shooter.
Hey, my Mark I web shooters. Managed to improve the storage capacity a lot since then, but the basic design's still the same.
Prom.
Symbolizes my luck with relationships.
Yeah. Pizza delivery hat.
I thought web swinging would let me get pizzas delivered fast. And it did. Fast and smashed.
Arm webs.
My underarm webs. Thought they might help me glide short distances, but they never really worked. Looked cool, though.
Selfie.
Funny, my fear of heights didn't go away when I got my powers. Had to climb to the top of the Empire State to get over that.
Oscorp visitor pass.
An Oscorp visitor badge from when I interviewed there. Would have paid well, but Dr. Octavius offered the chance to really make a difference.
Yuri's contact
Ken
info.
Watanabe gave me her cell number when she finally decided to trust me. She's risking a lot. If anyone finds out she's helping me, she'll lose her job.
Again, do like all these, do like those numbers actually like call something? Like, sorry, like someone comment down below. Knuckles duster.
Fisk beat the hell out of me with these. I almost used them for evidence, until MJ pointed out I was trespassing, so I'd probably end up in jail. Typical Parker luck.
College thesis.
My thesis paper on neurotechnology. This got me the job with Dr. Octavius.
Shocker's suit.
This piece of the Shocker's original uniform showed me how to protect myself from his blasts. Of course, they always upgrade, don't they?
Spider tracer.
I could never give this prototype spider tracer enough range to be useful. But I did adapt the tech into my web traps, which really come in handy.
High school t-shirt.
Oh man! I meant to wash this gym shirt 6 years ago.
Oh.
Hey, you!
Dumpling recipe.
The infamous dumpling recipe. Should have come with step 10. Try not to burn everything in MJ's apartment.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of looks like, yeah, number 10, number 9 kind of. Oh, wait, is that 4? I can't tell. I can't tell the numbers. Apartment application.
When MJ and I applied for this lease, I thought we'd move in together. Instead, we broke up. I can be pretty oblivious sometimes.
Rhino fragment.
Rhino almost killed me until I broke this chip off his horn and figured out what his costume's made of. Still wasn't easy to beat him. My back still aches just thinking about it.
Snow globe.
Almost forgot I bought this snow globe for Aunt May. I think I get my love for this city from her.
Job application. About to talk about humanity's greatest fears. A
I
job!
finished this application for the coffee
Sorry.
bean. Would have paid more than what I'm doing now.
I mean, I'm kind of doing nothing now. Ticket stub.
The last ball game Uncle Ben ever took me to. I need to get this framed. I could really use his advice now.
Locket.
People know my parents died in a plane crash, but I still can't tell anyone they were government agents.
What?
Wish I knew more about them. I wish anyone did.
I don't remember that part of Spider-Man stuff. Peter's story. Graphing
I
calculator.
bought this used graphing calculator at a pawn shop. Stopped working in the middle of a trig exam. You get what you pay for.
Hygiene kit.
Superheroing doesn't leave much time for good hygiene. Gotta get it where I can.
Science
My
trophy.
Wilson Fisk Science Prize trophy. And check. I couldn't turn it down without arousing suspicion, but no way was I gonna take his money. Even though we could have used it. I did accept the lifetime supply of backpacks, though.
Huh, makes sense. Makes sense how he got so much. Self-help book.
Maybe this'll help me balance work and a personal life. If I ever find time to read it.
Idiots. Electrician gloves.
Used these electrician's gloves in my first fight with Electro. Gave me the idea to add insulation to my costume. Which saved my bacon more than once.
Good luck card.
Aw, the good luck card from when I left the Daily Bugle to go into research. Some really great people there. And Jameson.
Keychain.
Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Why doesn't it ever feel like it?
Yeah. Bottle of spices.
Supposedly, Fisk made his fortune selling these spices. I mean, they're good, but not that good.
Stealth fragment.
One of these days, I'll work out a fabric that warps sound and light waves. A stealth suit would really come in handy.
Look at the name of that, guys. Look at the name. Wheat cake recipe.
Aunt May's recipe for wheat cakes. I could never make it work on my own.
ESU badge.
My ESU ID badge from my semester as a teaching assistant. Didn't have time to stick with it, but I could definitely see teaching again someday.
MJ article.
MJ wrote this article in the school paper about student protests. She was a heck of a journalist even then.
Cracked lens.
When the vulture cracked my eye lens, it almost blinded me. That was a wake-up call. Had to upgrade to a stronger material.
Physics book.
Took a bullet from the cops back when they thought I was working with Electro. Good thing textbooks are thick. Too bad they're also expensive.
Old cell phone.
Got some good parts from this old cell phone. Wonder what I could accomplish with a real budget instead of dumpster diving.
Old glasses.
After I got my powers, I didn't need my glasses anymore. Told everyone I got laser eye surgery with money from the Fisk Science Prize.
Spider Menace article.
This article blaming Spider-Man for electro-killing cops was the last straw. I had to quit taking pictures that helped Jameson print lies about me.
Spider logo sketches.
Rejected costume designs. Not bad, but I think the White Spider was definitely the way to go.
Mm-hmm. Lawyer's business card.
Oh yeah, that blind guy gave me his card in case Spider-Man ever needs a lawyer. Hold
Daredevil!
on. If he's blind, how did he know I was Spider-Man?
I forgot about this. Wrestling
I
flyer.
beat this wrestler right after getting my powers. Never had that much money before in my life. Or since, come to think of it.
Oh, guys. Sorry. Alright. Portable game device.
Gotta have something to do on stakeouts.
That's it. What kind of game device is this, bro? What company made this? The lizard's blood.
With this vial of the lizard's blood, I was able to mix up a cure and turn him back into Dr. Connors. Too bad it didn't last.
Vulture
The
jammer.
jammer I whipped up to jam Vulture's wings. Too bad he improved them after that.
Comic book.
Wish I knew who made this comic about me. Kid's got a future.
Peak writing. Peak writing. Spider-Man swings again. Helmet fragment.
This
For
piece
who?
of Mysterio's
Oh.
helmet gave me ideas for my eye lenses. Go ahead, sue me, fishbowl head.
Spidey squad pin. What is
The
this?
Spidey Squad. My one and only fan club. When Jameson's going off on me, it helps to remember they're out there.
Spider signal.
A spider signal. Cool idea, but any light source that made it bright enough was also way too hot. Someday, though.
Magnet.
Jameson gave me this at his Bugle retirement party. I thought nobody would listen to his talk show. Shows how much I know.
Old camera.
Hey, my first camera. I got this at a yard sale. Still uses film.
And vial of sand.
Still not sure if opening this would set the Sandman free, but I'm in no hurry to find out.
Alright. And then we'll do audio recordings. Rhino.
Alexei, I've followed your career with great interest. The world sees you as a witless dullard. I see a warrior with a poet's heart. I know you desire freedom from the battlesuit you're sealed inside. Help me achieve my goals, and freedom shall be yours.
Scorpion.
It's rare for me to admit this, Mr. Gargan. Clearing your debts was more difficult than I anticipated. You're in arrears to some demanding individuals. But once the reservoir job is finished, your financial obligations will be finished as well. Otto Octavius is nothing if not persuasive.
Vulture.
Adrian, what bitter irony that your miraculous wings should have brought such horrors on your body. Thankfully, you are now working for me. When our work is settled, the treatment I've developed will cure you. You won't shuffle off this mortal coil just yet, my friend.
Wait a minute. He said in that audio recording, that means that he already has the cure. Doesn't Vulture have like spine cancer or something, like some kind of cancer? So does that mean that Otto found a cure for cancer and he didn't tell the world?
Max, when you first conveyed your dream to me, I thought you insane. Pure energy. But as I dove deeper into the problem, I discovered a way to give us both what we desire. I promise you, when we are done, you will be pure energy. Or so close to it as to make the difference irrelevant.
Alright, auto journal number 1.
Norman. Feel like I can't turn around without seeing his face. He smiles for the cameras, collects his accolades, and keeps his boot heel pressed against my neck. Why can't anyone else see how selfish he is? How reckless? How evil? If only they could be made to see the Norman I know. The man behind the mask.
Auto journal number 2.
Oscorp has snaked itself throughout the city. Power, communication, public safety. Norman made his company essential, but also fragile. If a disaster were to occur, and a few small pressure points were tweaked, it would all fall apart. The public would see Norman for what he is, a leech on their lives. Yes, just a few simple steps, and he would be ruined forever.
Auto Journal number 3.
How many men would I need? Well, let's see. First, some kind of disaster. A hurricane, an earthquake, or a plague. Next, assaults on Oscorp's power grid and emergency relief. Send the city into chaos. Let the people see the truth about Norman. Yes, just a handful of men. No more than a half dozen. A sinister 6.
Auto Journal number 4.
Martin has been arrested. Norman looks pleased. Believes he's safe. He has no idea. He's just put all the rotten eggs a man might need into a single basket. With Martin in raft, alongside Scorpion, Rhino, Vulture, and Electro, a single swift kick is all it would take to send those eggs tumbling down the hill, straight at Oscorp and Norman. Yes, just one small kick. I think it's time for me to lace up my boots and climb the hill.
Auto Journal number 5.
This is my final recording. Peter? Just. It may have been extreme, but when it comes to Norman, half measures will never do. Of all that I risk by taking this next step, the loss of our friendship will pain me the most. I hope that if we meet again, it will not be on opposite sides.
Unfortunately, it was. Struggle for balance.
Can feel my power growing, feeding off my anger. Father would say I've lost the path of balance, but he could never understand. The only way to fight a monster is to become one.
Otto's Lab Journal number 1.
Today's the day. Grant review. We're ready. The work has progressed at a remarkable pace. I honestly never thought we'd get the tensile actuator back to an acceptable tolerance. But Parker, the boy has an eye for guerrilla science like none other. Just as I was ready to order a custom machine replacement part, he returned from the hardware store with a bottle of solvent and a toothbrush. Bang! Actuator problem resolved. The boy is a genius. A chronically late genius. It's already 10 after. Where is he? Surely he couldn't have forgotten today's review.
Otto's Lab Journal number 2.
Peter is starting to suspect. He hides it, but I can tell. He's seen my twitch, noticed the decay of my fine motor control. Well, I'm the one who wanted a genius for an assistant. Of course he knows. I just need more time. My work can improve millions of lives. Save millions of lives. It can also save my own. I just need more time.
Auto Lab Journal number 3.
Peter, thank you again for doing these blind reviews. Peer review is the backbone of great science. You know, as we've prepped for the upcoming fitting, I felt an itch in the back of my brain. Is this really the best method of limb replacement? Silly, I know, but I keep thinking, might there be another way?
Otto's Lab Journal number 4.
The Grant review was a debacle, yes, but it may also prove to be the inspiration I need. We can no longer simply meet the committee's expectations. We must exceed them.
Number 5.
Damn it! Why do I keep repeating the same mistake over and over? Norman Osborn cannot be trusted. In matters large and small, if Norman has the chance to profit off another man's loss, he'll take it. It's infuriating. Someday I'll turn the tables. I'll teach Norman what it is to feel helpless and small.
Number 6.
Peter. Oh, Peter. Don't even know why I'm bothering to record this. Norman has neutered us, and soon the lab will be out of funds. We were on the verge of such great things. If we had just a bit more time and money, I know all the ideas in our heads would have come pouring. Wait. Ideas in our heads. My God, Peter, that's it!
Number 7.
Parker, we've been focused on limb replacement, connecting nerves at severed extremities, replicating the function of lost appendages. But what if instead we gave people something they've never seen? Something straight from the mind. Unchain all of us from the bodies we've been born with, and instead unleash the awesome power of our minds.
Number 8.
The device will need 2 parts to function. The first will be an entirely original prosthesis, a modular system of microcables able to take on any number of forms, whatever the user can imagine. The second part, and this, Peter, is the true genius, is a direct neural interface, a direct tap straight into the basal ganglia. Unleash the brain, from your mind to reality. This goes beyond limb replacement, Peter. This will free all of us from the shackles of our bodies. Like your webbed friend, soon we'll all be capable of living our most amazing fantasies.
Number 9.
Parker says the interface is dangerous, but the boy's a neophyte. Never truly created anything. Thinks we can stay on the sidelines, avoiding the mud. Men died to found this nation. They died to get us to the moon. Every great push forward demands blood. And this next push, this push to rid ourselves of Norman's stink, it may yet be the bloodiest of them all.
Number 10.
Parker. Always listening, aren't you? Always observing. Memorizing, stealing. Who have you told about the neural interface, About my work? Well, it stops here, Parker. I trusted you. But instead of recognizing my genius, what did you do? Tried to tear it down. Accused it of flaws. There are no flaws. It's a thing of beauty. A perfect extension of the mind itself into the world. Thought given form by these incredible arms. And I have only one thought on my mind now. Norman's reputation lying in tatters before me. Time to give it shape.
Norman on Emily.
Happy birthday, dear. Sorry I'm a little late. It's been a busy month. I miss you, Em. Especially today. I've put Harry... I've sent him away. For treatment. We'll fix him, Em. I promise. Development of GR-27 was too slow to save you. It won't fail Harry. I'm keeping his room exactly as it is, ready for when he gets back. The key is with you, Em. I know you'll keep it safe.
Norman on GR-27.
Norman Osborn, GR-27 research log. The whole project has gone to hell. GR-27 is a cure, not a disease. But try telling that to the evening news. Somehow, they've picked up the technician's morbid nickname, Devil's Breath, and are using it to stoke hysteria. They have no idea what it's really capable of. A cure for cancer, genetic disorders, birth defects. With just a little more research, I know we could perfect it. Instead, I'll spend the next 18 months on PR mop-up. What a waste of time.
Alright, that's all of the audio recordings. How long have we been going for? God damn, an hour. Just from looking at information. And listening to stuff. That's fine. I don't really care. We're on the last one anyway, though. We're going to do J. Jonah Jameson Archives. Yeah, this is going to take a bit. Number 1, meet Jonah.
This is Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson, where listeners like you discuss the issues affecting our city with Pulitzer Prize-winning...
Two-time
Pulitzer Prize-winning former publisher of the Daily Bugle...
Hey, plug the book.
And as always, if you order Mr. Jameson's book, Spider-Man, Threat or Menace, within 24 hours of our broadcast, you'll get an autographed copy at no extra charge.
No personalizations. Don't ask. Not gonna get it.
Welcome to Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson, alerting you to the threats you don't even know about. Let's dive right into the calls. Speak.
Okay, so not for nothing. You gotta give Spider-Man respect for taking down Wilson Fisk, right? I mean, one less mob boss is good for everybody.
Is that right? Tell me, are you a police officer? Prosecutor? Maybe an award-winning reporter with decades on the job like me?
No, I'm a plumber.
Oh, good.
Sorry.
Then fix my toilet and shut up! Let me explain something to you about crime bosses. Soon as one goes down, every punk with a gun, a tracksuit, and a drawer full of gold chains decides he's the next godfather. We're gonna have a gang war in the streets, but does that whip-headed moron give a damn? Of course not. He got on TV. That's what counts.
Yeah, well, I can get copper pipe without paying kickbacks now. So until that gang war starts, I'm on the webhead side.
And you'll be singing a different tune when 3 new mobs are lining up to charge you triple for that same pipe. Or just break your legs. Goodbye! My loyal listeners, brushheads they call themselves, though I've never quite understood why, will remember my warnings about the downright Orwellian crime monitoring system the city was installing. Well, it's not operating. Why, you ask? Because someone came to their senses and realized they'd be violating civil liberties? Wrong! Because those incompetent bureaucrats built a network that crashes more often than a wino driving a bumper car. So your tax dollars got wasted, and there's nothing to show for it. Which is about as close as you get to a happy ending in the real world, kids. And now for listener emails. May from Queens writes, "You're so full of anger and I wish you'd get help managing it. It's terrible for your health." Now I know she speaks from a place of concern, but this is a common misconception that I have to correct. I'm not full of anger. I'm full of love. I call out injustice, corruption, and crimes against humanity because I adore this city. And I want it to be better. What you hear in my voice, it's love. Nothing but love. Unbelievable. I understand we have another low-information caller who thinks we're better off thanks to Spider-Man. Let's see if I can set her straight. You're on with J. Jonah Jameson.
I just want to say that I've never seen Manhattan so safe and peaceful. Compare what it was like when Spider-Man first showed up to now.
Okay, fair enough, I will. Then we had police and firefighters doing a wonderful job. There was crime, sure, but nothing they couldn't handle. Of course, we do have things now we didn't have then. Maniacs who shoot electricity out of their eyes, walking piles of sand, Nazis made of bees!
Didn't Spider-Man put all those guys in jail?
You're missing the point. They didn't exist before he came along. At best, he attracts them. But I've often wondered if they're in cahoots.
Wow, I've never actually heard anyone say cahoots before. Look, all I'm saying is, I'd hate to imagine what would have happened if all those guys showed up and Spider-Man wasn't here.
Another lost cause. Goodbye. You might have heard about the robbery at Roseman's auction house. What you probably didn't hear, but my sources confirm, is that the perpetrators were wearing masks. Horrible, demonic faces. Yet another example of the explosion in mass criminals since Spider-Man came on the scene. Let's hear your thoughts. You're on with J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, I see your point, but Spider-Man stopped those guys today. Saying he's like them because he wears a mask isn't fair. It's like prejudice.
Wrong. Here's a little lesson in the English language, my friend. Prejudice means to prejudge someone before you know anything about them. I know all I need to for his shenanigans, and a flashy costume so he gets attention to feed his gigantic, insatiable ego. Now, if I'm a mentally unstable person and I see him getting all this coverage, what am I going to do? It's called copycat behavior, people, and it's ruining New York. Folks, I have to once again defend myself against the spurious claims from McDonald Mac Gargan, a.k.a. the Scorpion. Yes, as I fully disclosed, I bankrolled the experiment that gave him superior strength, speed, and that unsightly cyborg tail. The idea was to create an anti-Spider-Man who is not a threat and stops menaces. I had no idea he was crazy. Do you think his resume said psycho with a poisoning fetish? His lawsuit is a transparent attempt to reduce his sentence at the raft by placing the blame for his deeds on me. And that is one package J. Jonah Jameson refuses. I've always been about the truth. When I was a reporter and a newspaper publisher, I printed the truth. And now as a broadcaster, I speak it. Sometimes it hurts, but it's my responsibility to bring it to you. And the truth is, the city is not quiet. It is not peaceful. It is a disaster waiting to happen. Threats roiling under the surface like a hungry shark just beneath the waterline. Don't let Spider-Man fool you. You are not safe. None of us are. Now, a lot of people ask me what I think of Mayor Osborn, but what matters is what you think. Let's ask our first caller. You're on with J. Jonah Jameson.
Hi, I think Mayor Osborn's doing a terrific job. He's cleaned the city up and expanded the economy.
With all due respect to the office of mayor, the police cleaned up the city, and entrepreneurs boosted the economy. I do approve of many of the mayor's initiatives, like cracking down on quality of life crimes and reducing red tape. But I think he takes credit for a lot of things other people do. He's ambitious, which is not a bad thing. But I always say, be careful of people with agendas. We used to have a vigilant press to keep politicians honest, but it's a shadow of its former self. Now all you've really got is me. Let's discuss the costume lunatic who just literally destroyed a bank. Wait, you think I'm talking about Herman Schultz? Oh, no. I meant
What did I do?
Look, Schultz is a career criminal, obviously disturbed. I mean, he calls himself the Shocker, so I don't expect him to act like a sane person. But Spider-Man claims to be a hero. Well, tell that to the bank employees who are out of a job. The customers who had irreplaceable family heirlooms in the safe deposit boxes. Couldn't he have waited until Schultz was, I don't know, outside to start the fight? Of course, then he would have probably wrecked several people's cars, because Spider-Man views our city as his playground and your property as his toys. And he just loves smashing his toys together. Friends, I've just received an update on Adrian Toombs, a.k.a. the Vulture. Apparently, this winged criminal has fallen ill with cancer, and he's been moved to the Raft's infirmary for treatment, which will undoubtedly cost a fortune in public funds. Now, let me ask you, why do we even have an infirmary at the Raft? It's a supermax prison full of maniacs. If they get sick, let nature take its course. Now, I realize that's harsh, but so is my tax bill. Now, how often do I say Spider-Man should let the police handle crime? At least 6 times a day, and that's on my day off. And for once, that is exactly what happened. When Officer Jefferson Davis stopped a truck full of armed criminals from mowing down innocent bystanders. What about Spider-Man, you ask? Where was the city's self-styled champion? Oh, he's the one who started this chase, right out of an 80s action movie. But it took a real hero to finish it. Thank God Officer Davis was on the scene, and that he saved all those lives in spite of Spider-Man's interference. Jefferson Davis, you have earned the coveted J. Jonah Jameson nod of respect. I just nodded. It's all over the news. Another battle between Spider-Man and these demon-masked gunmen threatening the lives of New Yorkers. I understand our next caller lives in the area. You're on with J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, the thing is, it all happened in a shipyard that's been closed for years. There weren't any innocent people in danger.
Oh, is that your expert opinion? Well, let me tell you what I've learned from sources I developed in my award-winning journalism career. That shipyard was a front for Wilson Fisk. He's been using it to smuggle guns, grenades, military-grade ordnance.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Ah, the truth bomb strikes. But wait, here's a 50-megaton payload of fact. While Spider-Man tried to grab the glory for himself chasing one truck, another vehicle got away with an arsenal of deadly, illegal weapons. Fisk, for all his faults, would never have let them be used in this city. But these demons, either they're some kind of fanatical cult, or they just don't care. Anybody feel like they're in danger now? A helicopter fight, trailing a crane, in the air above our teeming streets, on which it could have crashed at any moment in a blazing rotor-chopping fireball of doom. Still think the webhead's protecting people like you, caller?
Well, he stopped them, and he made sure the helicopter didn't land on anyone. So, it seems to me he did the right thing.
Right thing? The right thing would be to call the professionals. My son serves proudly in the Air Force. He's logged thousands of hours of flight time and years of training in protecting our homeland. But he's not good enough?
Well, of course he is, but he wasn't there. Spider-Man was.
Because that's how he wanted it. God forbid he share the spotlight with anyone. That's it. I'm done pointing out the obvious. Let's go to commercials. I need a double aspirin with an antacid chaser. Now! Today is a day for somber Jefferson Davis. But it's also a day to vow never again. It stops here. Some people say I blame everything on Spider-Man. Well, I don't blame him for the bombing. That cowardly act is squarely the responsibility of whoever committed it. But if we're going to keep New York safe, we can no longer tolerate the kind of lawlessness Spider-Man and his ilk represent. This is our city. By God, we're going to take it back. Friends, today we have a very special caller, breaking important news right here, because where else? Mayor Osborn, thanks for calling in.
No, thank you, Jonah. When you were publishing the Bugle, you were always fair to me. Tough, sure, but fair.
Well, that's my job, Mr. Mayor. All I have is my integrity, and I won't compromise it for anyone. Now, what's this crucial breaking news you're revealing for the first time anywhere on my show?
Well, after the brutal, cowardly City Hall bombing that almost claimed my life, it's clear our understaffed police department needs help. And I want to reassure the people of New York that I am providing it.
Aha! I said it. You all heard me say we needed this. Are you using my idea of bringing in cops from Lake Placid?
Ah, no, though that was a fine idea. No, this would be a security contractor, much like the ones our military uses to assist our troops overseas. I can't name it until the contracts are signed, but their qualifications are impeccable.
Well, that sounds terrific, Mr. Mayor. Though, of course, I'll have to reserve my tough but fair final judgment until I have all the facts.
I'd expect nothing less. And let me stress, this is in no way replacing our brave officers of the law, just augmenting them in a way that cuts through the red tape and gets results.
And results are what we want. You know, I'm glad you're here, so I can share my theory on how Spider-Man may well be working with the demons.
And a fascinating theory it is, I'm sure. But my doctors are advising me to get some rest now, so if you don't mind.
Oh, of course. Thank you for calling in, Mr. Mayor. My lines are open for you anytime. Jared, did you hear? Tough but fair! That's our new slogan. I don't care who else is using it. Don't care. Breaking news just in. My sources tell me the police are now looking at the demons as the primary suspects in the City Hall bombing.
Yeah,
If that is
thank.
in fact the case, I retract what I said about Spider-Man not being to blame. He would be, at the very least, partially responsible. Because the reckless manner in which Wilson Fisk was brought down directly created the void the demons poured into, like the poison they are. Actions have consequences, my friends. And that's something Spider-Man has never understood.
I have to tell you, Triple J, I used to think you were exaggerating the danger to the city, but after the City Hall bombing, I gotta admit, you were right.
A lot of people have been telling me that, congratulating me, but I don't want congratulations. I would have loved to have been wrong, or better yet, for those in a position of power to have listened to me and done something. But they didn't, and I'm not sure they'll listen now. Unless concerned citizens like you and I make ourselves impossible to ignore. Stand up! Take your city back! That's the only way we can ever be sure that justice will be done. That and listening to me every day. I got an interesting tip today. Remember that barbaric beast named the Rhino?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently last night he almost escaped from his cell in the raft. How, you ask? Well, no one there seems to know, but they assure me he's been relocated to a more secure cell. Now, I'm no expert on Supermax prisons, but isn't the whole point of them that there isn't anything else more secure? I mean, he's a 700-pound maniac with an indestructible horn. If there's a more secure cell, why wasn't he in it?
I mean, honestly, yeah, he really has a point on that one.
Now, here's a frightening thought. Oscorp does research and development for the military. Are the demons after experimental weapons? If I was a psychotic cult, I would be. I wonder where they got the idea. What highly visible figure has made a career out of fighting madmen with lethal experimental technology like flight suits, tectonic gauntlets, and gigantic scorpion tails? No, don't say the name. I just ate. It started, folks. I'm getting word of a serious increase in the drug trade in our fair city. And it's not the demons or Wilson Fisk's former people. Criminals across the board are getting bolder. Just as I predicted, the rats are crawling out of their holes, sensing weakness and opportunity. No one listened to me before. I pray they'll listen to me now. Be careful out there. A group of terrorists assassinate American citizens in a bombing attack. How is it possible that instead of being wiped out of existence, these masked criminals are still at large and still striking at innocent people like Oscorp CFO Charles Standish in their own homes? How? You're on with J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, my cousin's a corrections officer, and he says the demons they've arrested aren't talking. They clam up, won't even speak to their lawyers.
This underscores a concern I've had about these demons. They're not regular criminals. They might not even be ordinary terrorists, although they certainly commit terrorist acts. But it looks to me more and more like they're a cult.
Are you kidding me? Those kind of people are out of their minds. They'll do anything.
It's horrifying, isn't it? Does this mean that we have to live in fear? To be constantly looking over our shoulders? To expect an attack at any moment?
I mean, it kind
My
of
opinion,
is a
folks,
cult.
the answer is...
I think, at least.
Yes.
Kind of.
Let's talk about Halloween, folks. It may be good fun for the kids to dress up as a cowboy or astronaut or ballerina and trick-or-treat, but this trend of grown adults glorifying the likes of Spider-Man by dressing up as them is, especially in the times we live in, disturbing. What say you, Gino from the Bronx?
Yeah, well, I get your point, but my girlfriend got this sexy Spider-Girl costume, and it really spices things up. Know what I'm saying?
Huh. I most certainly do not. J. Jonah Jameson is not one to be judgmental. But you, sir, are an extremely disturbed man. Goodbye. Folks, you've no doubt heard about the riot at Empire State University. But this is not your usual toxic mix of underage drinking, entitled millennials, and hormones run rampant. Authorities are keeping a tight lid on the situation, but my sources tell me the demons drugged the students, turning them into deadly rage machines. What has become of our fair city, ladies and gentlemen, when we have to fear our own children, our neighbors, our husbands and wives? Be vigilant, be on guard, and keep a close eye on that barista with the man bun making your skinny latte, or you could be next! Friends, there's a fine line between being a conspiracy theorist and seeing a clear pattern. I walk that line, and I am confident in perceiving a common thread among these attacks on Oscorp and Norman Osborn by the demons. The motive? It's hard to ascribe motive to lunatics, but I suspect it's no accident that they're striking at both a pillar of our corporate community and the center of our city's government. It's our very way of life that's under assault. As I have always warned, if you've been listening to me, you're ready. If not, I'll pray for you. Our next caller reports a problem I saw coming a mile away. Go ahead, ma'am.
Well, I was coming out of the bathtub last night when I glanced out my window, and what do I see? Spider-Man, swinging by like he owns the place. I was naked.
Madam, you have my sympathies. Just imagine what sort of deviant personality...
Okay. She said he was swinging by. If he's swinging past the building, that means he doesn't even have enough time to see. This is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Our next caller reports a problem I saw coming a mile away. Go ahead.
Well, I was coming out of the bathtub last night when I glanced out my window, and what do I see? Spider-Man, swinging by like he owns the place. I was naked.
Madam, you have my sympathies. Just imagine what sort of deviant personality would dress up like that in the first place. And it's a short step from there to peeping Tom activity. Folks, it doesn't matter if you live on the first floor or the 31st. Keep your curtains drawn. Lock your windows. A webbed pervert walks among us. You night owls may have seen lights flickering out at the
Why am
ramps
I
of
even
Supermax
doing
prison
this?
last
I don't
night.
even know.
Sadly, it was not because one of their inmates got the chair. No. Apparently, someone there hit on an idea I actually think has merit, which is making that recidivist criminal Electro pay for his room and board by powering the prison himself, saving taxpayers' money. Not surprisingly, though, it turns out he hates actual work as much as he loves robbing and murdering, so they had to go back to the city's grid, which I'd imagine is why I still can't run my microwave and toaster at the same time without blowing a fuse. I've got a lot of people asking me what they can do now that they've woken up to the danger we're facing. I wish there were an easy answer. Obviously, we have to be aware of the danger posed by the criminal element, but we also need to hold to account those whose job it is to protect us. The police. These Sable agents who work for the mayor work for us, and we must not tolerate anyone who contributes to the lawlessness sweeping Manhattan. And yes, that very much includes Spider-Man.
Bro.
Here's another call of a type I've been getting a lot lately. Speak!
Mr. Jameson, I want to apologize. I used to think you were an alarmist, but look what's happened to the city. I'm afraid to walk the streets.
As well you should be. And I accept your apology. It's understandable you were bamboozled by the mainstream voices telling you everything was dandy, nothing to worry about. Go out and consume. Don't ask questions. I was a lone voice in the wilderness then, but now more and more people like you are realizing who spoke the truth. And that, my friends, is how we will take our city back. Okay. Even the mole people living in the sewers know about the high-speed chase between police, Spider-Man, and the demons. Once again, Spider-Man makes a bad situation infinitely worse, and we have a highly intelligent caller who agrees with me. You're on with J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes, Mr. Jameson. Yeah, I was trying to get to work, and I was almost run over. Look, I understand that Spider-Man saved the kidnapped victim, and I'm glad about that. But I could have been killed.
Not just you. This is the problem with that masked maniac. The police are able to coordinate efforts, block streets, lay down tire shredding strips, because they're a team. Spider-Man is a one-man show who cares about one thing. Spider-Man! And you almost paid for that. With your life. Folks, the mastermind of the City Hall bombing has finally been brought to justice, and shockingly, it's philanthropist Martin Lee. Now, I'll discuss in a moment what kind of twisted Jekyll and Hyde mentality it takes to lead such a double life. But first, a word of caution to everyone celebrating his arrest. Yes, it's good that he's in jail, but look at all the things we didn't know. How long was he a suspect without anyone telling us? How long did he have a deadly biological weapon that could kill us all? Shouldn't we have been told? Evacuated the city? It's not an accident that we weren't given the information we need to protect ourselves and our families. Someone made that decision. Was it the police? The mayor? I know one guilty party for sure, and his initials are Spider-Man. Now, reports are coming in that Martin Lee, along with exhibiting freakish abilities like those of you-know-who, has lately seemed to display almost a split personality. This is hogwash and a clear attempt to evade justice for his crimes. Only a fool would believe that he's Mr. Positive one moment, helping the poor with a smile, then suddenly he's Mr. Negative, blowing up, wait a minute, Mr. Negative. That's gold, Jared. Gold, trademark it, stat. As I was saying, folks, Martin Lee's evil side, or as everyone is now calling him, Mr. Negative, has been revealed as the culprit for the City Hall bombing.
All right.
New polls are in. Mayor Osborn's approval ratings have spiked since Martin Lee's arrest. He seems a shoo-in for re-election. I've got one of his supporters on the line. Speak!
Mayor Osborn's got my vote. He got Lee and recovered the WMD. He saved us. And Spider-Man had a lot to do with...
Let me stop you right there, because you're obviously not seeing the big picture. Yes, the threat was averted, but how did we just get to that point? Where did this devil's breath come from? Why does Spider-Man always seem to know things before we do? The threat's not really over until we know it won't happen again, and I'm not exactly up to my mustache in confidence. Mark my words, it's no time for New Yorkers to let their guard down. It's happened, people. The chickens have come home to roost. Of course, by chickens, I mean the lunatics who've escaped from Rikers Island. And the home they're coming to is yours. Thanks to Spider-Man attracting these psychos to our city like moths to a flame. We had them all stashed right off the coast of Manhattan, if only someone had pointed out what a bad idea that is. Wait! I did. So listen to me now. Lock your doors. Arm yourselves with whatever you can get your hands on. It is now every man, woman, and child for themselves. And with reports that the Devil's Breath WMD has again been stolen, I have a very bad feeling it's only going to get worse from here. Alarmist, paranoid, conspiracy theorist. All nasty words people have used to insult and demean me. But now, after years of me trying to warn you all, here we are. Spider-Man has literally brought a plague down upon us. Why do I blame him and not Martin Lee? I do blame Martin Lee. He deserves swift justice, but he's a lunatic terrorist. This is what they do. Whereas Spider-Man claims to be a hero. Yet he obviously knew about the threat and didn't warn us. He either thought he'd handled it, which makes him criminally negligent, or he was in on it, which makes him a terrorist too. There is someone else who isn't emerging from this crisis in a positive light. Mayor Osborn. Experimenting on something as deadly as Devil's Breath in the heart of Manhattan is the height of irresponsibility. What did Osborn know and when did he know it? The answer could mean the difference between electoral defeat, impeachment, and prison. Stay tuned to the only voice you can trust in these dire times. Mine. My friends, I'm getting a lot of frantic calls from people trying to get out of Manhattan. While I understand the impulse, that is not the answer. I've been in touch with the National Disease Center, and they've assured me they're working on an anti-serum. But for their efforts to bear fruit, we need to keep our composure. Here's why we have to stay where we are. Firstly, we need to keep the disease contained. The more it spreads and the more people who are sick, the fewer resources there are to go around. And I have received personal assurances from officials in... Oh, you have got to be kidding me. It seems the relief convoys I just mentioned are being attacked by escaped inmates from Rikers Island Prison. Spider-Man, this is on you! You were there in the most charitable reading of the situation! You failed to stop the breakout! Worst case, you were responsible for it! You always claimed to be on our side. Well, Webhead, if that's true, you are rapidly running out of chances to prove it! Folks, the city is in crisis. We have bridges and tunnels closed. People who work in the city but don't live here are trapped within. Others have been barred from homes, placed under emergency quarantine. I'm hearing reports of tent cities, people sleeping in parks. It's like the Depression and the 1918 flu epidemic all rolled into one. I know times are hard and we are all struggling, but if you see someone who needs help, do what you can. That's the only way we'll make it through this. We must pull together or fall apart. Jared, write that down. That was a good one. I've had numerous callers today reporting that entire city blocks are being taken over by escaped inmates from Rikers. These are literal no-go zones in the heart of Manhattan. A dystopian future from 70s movies come to life. Why don't the police stop it, you ask? Oh, you're going to love this. It seems the prisoners ambushed a convoy carrying weapons and ammunition for the authorities and took it all for themselves. The police are outgunned by their own guns. Well, all right. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where we see if Sable International and Spider-Man are the protectors they claim to be. These criminals aren't hiding. They're right in plain sight, daring you to come get them. Well, we're waiting! More and more listeners are warning that the mayor's Sable agents, ostensibly here to protect us, are behaving more like an occupying army. But let's hear it from the caller. Go ahead.
They won't let me in my building. Said it's quarantined. I said, fine, let me in and I'll stay there. They pointed their guns at me, ran me off like a criminal. I got no place to go.
Caller, this is deeply disturbing to me. I promise you, I'll bring it to the attention of the proper authorities. Emergencies do not permit the suspension of human rights. Your elected officials may not be willing to fight for you, but J. Jonah Jameson is. The mass breakout at Rikers Island, which camera footage clearly shows Spider-Man involved in, has spilled countless hardened criminals into our streets at the worst possible time. I want to hear how it's affecting you. Speak!
I don't know who I'm more scared of. The criminals or these Sable people? They've all got guns. I mean, it's like the Wild West out here. If one doesn't kill you, the other will.
You raise a very salient point, caller. In times of martial law, civil liberties are most at risk. My advice? Keep your head down. Don't go out unless you have to. Trust the police before Sable. They're from here. They're in this with us. Document any abuses. At some point, this will be over, and they will be held accountable.
Well, what do we do about the escaped inmates from Rikers, Mr. Jameson? They'll do anything. Looting, home invasion, murder.
Fight back. Arm yourselves with whatever you can. Legal firearms, baseball bats, pepper spray, hell, cooking spray in the eyes if that's all you got. We're New Yorkers. We don't lie down for anyone.
Okay, but what if it's one of these nut jobs with powers? Like that rhinoceros guy.
He doesn't have powers.
And my friend, you pray. And you go down fighting.
Okay, don't try and fight him. You're cooked if you run into Rhino. Yeah, you pray in that time.
Electro trying to destroy our power grid. The Vulture raining death from above. Spider-Man egging them both on in the very heart of our city, brawling like children. Lethal children, pitching a tantrum of death and destruction. I'm often asked, why do menaces like this end up with awesome powers? Why not someone like you, Jonah? Well, I have considered trying to use advanced science to give me powers, only so I could protect you in a more hands-on way, of course. But after much reflection, I've decided against it. Because power corrupts. I'm a man of the people, and I want to stay one of the hard-working, ordinary people of New York, so I'll just help via my talk show. my publishing empire, and my vast personal fortune. No need to thank me. It's what a man of the people does. I realize Norman Osborn claimed he was stepping back from running Oscorp when he was elected. But has he? Or is he using his office, his public trust, to enrich himself beyond imagining? And with threats like Electro, the Devil's Breath sickness, and who knows what else, has his greed endangered us all? These questions need to be asked. And as long as there is breath in my body, I will ask them. We have a return caller who recently raised concerns about Sable agents abusing their authority. Let's find out. Are things any better?
There's less people complaining. You know why? Because anyone who does disappears. You seen all these Sable bases popping up around town? I heard they're prison camps for anyone who steps out of line.
I've heard those rumors as well. And while I initially thought it was fear-mongering, something I have absolutely no patience for, I have grown increasingly concerned. Why won't they let me in to inspect their bases? What are they hiding? We still abide by the Constitution, folks, and that includes protection against unreasonable searches and seizures, and freedom of speech. So if you have concerns, if you see abuses happening, call me. If the authorities won't listen, I will. And I will spread the word to our fellow New Yorkers. If these tyrants think they can silence me, let them try. No one puts a muzzle on J. Jonah Jameson. Because some people are spreading scurrilous rumors about me, I want to address the matter of the Scorpion right now. Yes, I paid for the procedure that empowered him. We desperately needed someone to bring down Spider-Man. It's not my fault the treatments drove him crazy. It's that ivory tower elite scientist who was so hungry for my money he didn't take proper precautions. No one believes in personal responsibility more than J. Jonah Jameson. But in this, I can categorically say, I am blameless. Does anyone else find it suspicious that this Rhino person always knocks down buildings and tears up roads, which someone ends up making money rebuilding? Am I suggesting a conspiracy? You're damn right. Now, if you've seen the man testify in court, you know the Rhino is too stupid to plan anything himself. So who's the mastermind? Well, who else is always there? Supposedly fighting Rhino, but actually leading him around like a red cape does a bull. Say it with me.
Oh my God.
Spider-Man. My friends, the Rhino and the Scorpion are back behind bars, but only after wreaking unimaginable havoc in a reckless rampage with Spider-Man. Hopefully, they'll never see daylight again, but we need to be ready if they do. Normal humans can't stand against the likes of the Rhino. So, here's my proposal. You've heard of police dogs, right? Now bear with me. We train, outfit, and deploy police rhinoceroses. You got a rhino? We got a rhino too, baby!
That actually sounds like a really goofy, but also good and bad idea at the exact same time.
Folks, I know you're scared. But when I hear reports of looting, of fights over food or medicine, I say to myself, we are better than this. You are better than this. I've known you my whole life. I am proud to be a member of this community. Don't give in to fear. Help each other. Stand up for those who need it. I've always hated hearing Spider-Man called a hero, because real heroes are the people who get up every day with no special powers and do the right thing simply because it is the right thing. So I'm asking you now, be the heroes I know you all are. J. Jonah Jameson believes in you. I have never lied to you before, and I'm not going to start now. It's looking bad. We're running short on time. The elderly especially are in rough shape. And the NDC, despite working around the clock, as yet has no results. But do not forget this. We are New Yorkers. We take care of each other. We do what's right to the very end. And if we are facing the end, I can tell you this from the bottom of my heart. There's no one I'd rather have at my side. Whatever comes next, we will face it bravely. Together, as New Yorkers. My friends, the privilege has been mine. With the island of Manhattan quarantined, there are a lot of scared people out there. Here's one. You're on the air.
They're turning back boats to the mainland. All bridges and tunnels are closed. Aircraft's grounded. They're leaving us here to die, aren't they?
Calm down, caller. I have always been the voice of reason, so listen to me now. I know from my vast network of contacts that the National Disease Center is working on recreating the stolen anti-serum. A cure is coming. The question is, how long will it take? Will it get here in time? But we've been through tough spots before, and we'll get through this too.
They'll never finish the cure in time for us. They're writing us off. Manhattan's a graveyard.
Not true. The NDC is doing what they can. If they're busy dealing with outbreaks all over the country, or the world, that's less time they have to work on the anti-serum. I know it's hard to trust anyone these days, but you've always been able to trust me to tell it like it is, and I am telling you now, do not violate the quarantine. Stay in your homes. Take care of your families. I'll be right here, facing it with you. We're New Yorkers. We can handle anything. And we can sure as hell beat this. Mark your calendars, folks, because I'm going to say something you thought you'd never hear from me. Spider-Man got it right. Does that mean I was wrong about him? Am I apologizing? Hell no. You see, I have it on good authority that he is a regular listener of this program. And now it makes a lot of sense. He heard what I said. He internalized it. And he learned. Improved himself. And against all odds, he did the right thing. So Spider-Man, you're welcome. However, don't think I'm going to go easy on Spider-Man from here on out. I'll be watching, keeping him honest. Spider-Man, since I know you're listening, imagine my eyes on you everywhere you go. I mean, not like the shower. That would be weird. Or the bathroom. Or... Let's go to commercial. Folks, I'm hearing a lot of praise for Spider-Man lately, and I'm not saying it's entirely unwarranted. He did listen to me after all, and did the right thing in the end. But dial it back, will ya? I can tell it's going to his head. Look at him. The wisecracking, the grandstanding, swinging around the city like he owns it. This is not his city. It's mine. I mean ours. One thing even my detractors have to say about J. Jonah Jameson. I admit when I'm wrong. And while I hoped his efforts in the recent crisis meant Spider-Man was finally becoming a responsible citizen, a mature adult, I am here to confess I was wrong.
He was never a mature guy.
I
Spider-Man.
hoped it was true. But even a stop clock is right twice a day. And I guess curing the plague was
never acts
Spider-Man's
mature.
stop clock moment.
I mean, most of the time he doesn't act mature.
You know, looking at the dark days just behind us, most of the people involved have faced consequences. Otto Octavius is in prison. Mayor Osborn resigned in disgrace. Escapees from Rikers continue to be rounded up. The remaining demons and Wilson Fisk's men are fighting over scraps. But funny how Spider-Man has faced no repercussions. Well, sure, you might say he saved us. But should saving all our lives really give him a mulligan on his long history of reckless behavior? Tune in after this message for my answer. Spoiler, no! Have you ever been driving along, going to work or church, minding your own business, when suddenly, bam, you hit a pothole, damaging your car and ruining your whole day? Well, you know who to blame. No, not city bureaucracy. Spider-Man. He's been seen leaping down from great heights to pound the ground with maximum force. Why? There's only one possible reason I can think of. He hates us, and he wants us to be miserable. Folks, I have received unsettling reports of Spider-Man in our public parks, where children play. Apparently, Stalking pigeons. Yes, wild pigeons. You may wonder if he's gone insane. A perfectly valid question. But have you heard of the Goliath bird-eating spider? I'll spare you the gory details, but it's a spider big enough to devour birds. Now, Spider-Man sticks to walls like a spider. He jumps like a spider. What else does he do like a spider?
I don't eat pigeons.
So, numerous witnesses saw Spider-Man swinging through Times Square like the glory hound he is, firing webs at electronic billboards and causing them to reboot. Granted, those billboards are an eyesore. In my day, sign painting was an art. But the more pressing question is, what was he up to? I have a theory. He is infecting these billboards with a virus so that they will subliminally hypnotize pedestrians. Hypnotize them into what? Into liking Spider-Man! And he's been doing it for years! This is the only plausible explanation for how many fans this menace seems to have! Folks, you've heard me express grave concerns about the risk to civil liberties posed by the police department's crime system and their omnipresent towers. But at least the intention is to stop crimes. Now, recently, Spider-Man has been seen tampering with these very towers, and it's reasonable that my loyal listeners suspect he is disabling the towers so he can commit his unlawful misdeeds with impunity. But Spider-Man is not your ordinary run-of-the-mill menace. Oh, he's a 12th level Kung Fu master, 50 moves ahead menace, which is why I think he's actually hacking into these towers to spy on you and me. Your only defense? Listen to my show. All the time. If he's gonna spy on us, let him hear that we're on to him. By listening to me. Every waking moment.
The only thing you got right was that I was hacking into the towers. That's all you got right there.
As I warned, Nostradamus-like, after Spider-Man recklessly took down Wilson Fisk without preparing for the consequences, our streets are now filled with aspiring gangsters, each trying to out-psycho the other. My next guest is lucky to have survived an armed robbery. Sir, we're glad you're okay.
Thanks. It was nuts. These dudes walk in like they own the place, waving guns around.
Appalling. When a businessman is afraid to make an honest living.
Yeah, it was a lifesaver that Spider-Man came along and stopped him.
Weren't you listening? He caused the problem. Forgive me for raising my voice. I'm emotional at the thought of what you went through. Jared, our caller seems shaken. Let's let him go.
I'm fine.
Goodbye! Some people have accused me of being negative, only criticizing, not offering solutions when it comes to Spider-Man. Here's my solution, and it's very simple. Unmask. Join the police academy. Wear a badge. Then you can catch all the crooks you want, and I'll sing your praises on this very show. And all that hogwash about how that would place his loved ones in danger? Come on. You can't convince me that guy has any loved ones. After much listener demand, today I am finally going to answer the question I have posed for many years. Spider-Man, threat or menace? Yes, that's right. It's time. I'm taking a position. And that position is... he's both. Sometimes he's a threatening menace, and sometimes he's a menacing threat. But come on, how can you menace someone without also being a threat? And vice versa. And for those grammar Nazis among you who say I'm being redundant, it's called art. I'm a wordsmith. It's a rhetorical device. And if you don't like it, I'll tell you where you can shove that device. Okay, my intern is telling me it's time for my pills. We will be right back. I'm getting emails from the rapidly shrinking yet still stubbornly obtuse contingent of Spider-Man fanboys and fangirls blithely insisting he did a wonderful thing, shutting down a drug lab run by a delightful fellow whose street name seems to be, wait for it, Tombstone. Now, I'm glad he's behind bars, but do you know how Spider-Man shut this operation down? By setting it on fire. Do you know what drug labs do when you set them on fire? They explode! Spider-Man could have taken out the entire block with his criminally reckless grandstanding. Fortunately, New York's bravest, our firefighters, contained the blaze because that's their job. And if Spider-Man had any sense, he'd have turned over whatever information he had on Tombstone to the police and let New York's finest do their job. But no, he thought the best way to handle drug dealing is with arson. Imagine this. A stray shopping cart dents your car. You take it to the auto body shop, only that shop is a front for a drug lord called Tombstone, and he and Spider-Man have decided to have a power struggle at that precise moment. Sir, tell us the rest.
I start to go in and I see Spider-Man fighting this massive guy with fangs like a shark.
That would be one Lonnie Lincoln, a.k.a. Tombstone. Did it seem they were fighting over drug profits or merchandise? I understand there's talk of a new drug that turns its users into zombies.
I don't know what it was about. I got my ass out of there.
Sir, I understand you've been through a lot, but please refrain from using that kind of language. This is a family show.
Sorry. Anyway, I'm glad I split, because pretty soon, the cops and firefighters are there.
Ah, the real heroes. What a relief. I think we can all use a happy ending.
I thought this was a family show.
Jared, get rid of him! Another low-information Spider fanboy tried to troll me, as the young people say, by claiming Spider-Man was providing a... Why this itsy-bitsy-brain spider was climbing this particular water spout, people. Because he tampered with the water pressure system. He was seen earlier messing with a valve that only qualified workers are supposed to use. Wake up, America! Spider-Man creates the problems he then solves, then expects you to reward him with your adoration. The sad thing is, all too many do. Fortunately, you know better, thanks to me. Has anyone else heard reports of Spider-Man literally seeking out clouds of smog to swing through? Is this the behavior of a sane individual? I'll tell you what I think is going on here. When I was a lad, there was a problem with juvenile delinquents sniffing glue to get high. Knowing Spider-Man's weak moral character and thrill-seeking personality, I'd guess the same principle is at work here. But inhaling toxic substances also damages the brain, which actually explains a lot about Spider-Man. He's swinging through the city hopped up on smog. Okay, this one confounded me for a while. Apparently, Spider-Man's been seen throughout the city tampering with steam regulators. Aside from generally being a vandal and a troublemaker, why would he do this? I'll tell you why. Because when the city has to send crews out to fix these problems, they need police to direct traffic around them. That's officers who aren't stopping crime. Which leaves, say it with me, Spider-Man. He's trying to take our brave officers' jobs.
Oh my god, that was so much that was horrible. That was suffering. 65 of these. Okay. That's honestly all I've got for this video. I know this one wasn't really anything for the game and all. I just thought I'd do this stuff.
Officers respond. We've got a 10-10 narcotics sale in progress.
You know what, before we go, I'm gonna have a little fun.
Gonna guess these guys aren't trading baseball cards. Aw, you guys are like little kingpins in training. So cute! Knocking the ever-loving stuffing out of dealers is my anti-drug.
Okay. So I guess while I'm swinging, I'm gonna explain something. So probably at least a bit after this stream is made, video, whatever, yada yada, I might start the first DLC, but here's what I'm planning to do. When it comes to all the Spider-Man games, I am going to do, obviously I'm done with this game, except for the DLCs.
Looks bad.
I need to do the DLCs. I will do the DLCs, play Miles Morales, beat that just like I beat this one. And then... Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate.
People are still trapped. I need to help. Just a little more!
Where's the last guy? Is he on? No, he's in the car.
Don't panic! I'm here! I think that debris is trapping someone inside that car. Okay, people are safe. I should clear out so the professionals can get in.
I am going to complete the DLCs, play Spider-Man Miles Morales, beat it just like I did with this one. Obviously, that game doesn't have any DLCs. Play Spider-Man 2, beat it just like I did the first two, and then I'll go back and do New Game Plus and, you know, rinse, wash, repeat. That's what I'll probably do. And then that'll be it for probably a while, because that's a lot of stuff. And eventually I'll do Game of the Year edition and remastered for this game. See if there's any differences. Then if there's none, so what?
Getting reports of a mugging in the area.
This will probably be the last thing I do, and then this will be it for this stream.
That's a holdup.
It's in Wilson Fisk's pocket. Who got arrested? Police is way understaffed. That's why you're doing this? It's Christmas for guys like us.
Oh, come on.
And down and out. Into the wall.
That's it? I feel like the hold-up guys are phoning it in lately.
Alright, so yeah. I know you guys probably didn't if you made it through this whole thing, but I hope you enjoyed this stream. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.